This is Next Radio 2016 with Broadcast Bionics. Innovative solutions for creative people.
Hi, good morning. My name is Floris Dademans. I've said this time and time again. You can, you can try if you want to. It's in Dutch, I'm sorry. Innoveren is another Dutch word. It means innovation, obviously. And I'm here to talk about innovating radio. Innovation is crucial, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying that everyone here should be doing innovation, but it's crucial that some people do. And I think we at VRT, as a public broadcaster in Belgium, we want to be an innovative company. And that's why I'm here to talk about our innovation labs. And yes, that is plural. We have several labs at VRT that do innovation. And I'm going to give you a peek inside those labs. The first one is called Onderzoek en Innovatie. You can try and pronounce that in your own time. It's roughly translates to research and innovation. Note that it's not research and development. This division is not developing finished products, but they are doing lots of research. Research on codecs, for example, but also research on how to get signals into the air and out of there again. All sorts of scientific stuff, and I think it's really important that someone does this, as I've said before. So research and innovation. The second one is the sandbox, which is another division that does innovation, but does that in conjunction with the industry. It's really a place where industry partners, small companies and big ones alike, or even individuals with good ideas, can come in and can experiment with their products on real-life content and real-life production processes at VRT without the risk of tanking the entire operation. That's why it's a sandbox, and that's why we called it the sandbox. And then the third one is the startup, VRT Startup, and that's what I'm talking about today. It's actually a startup. It's a little company inside the company that doesn't stick to the rules of the company, which is fun, I can tell you. And it really runs as a startup. Have you ever read Eric Ries's book, The Lean Startup? I think you should, because it's a process that we stick to when we do our innovations at VRT Startup. We pick a subject, a topic, an age group, something that we're trying to solve. I'll give you some examples later on. But the first thing we do is go to the actual users. That's what this VRT Startup is really focusing on, working with actual users. And we empathize with these users. We observe them, we learn from them, we see the things that they do, we see the things that they can do, that they miss, for example. Then when we have all this information, we define something that we want to invent for them. And when we have a good definition of what we want to invent, we ideate around this idea. Ideation continues until, again, with users, continues until we have some 3 or 4 good ideas to work with, which we actually prototype in clickable models or maybe paper prototypes, but something that we can go to users again with. And we keep testing these until they are more or less finished products. This is an iterative process, and users, audience members are included in every step of this, and that is crucial. We don't invent big cloudy ideas and try and sell those to the audience. No, we include the audience in the actual invention of these ideas, and that delivers. A couple of things we did in the past was, for example, Ninja News. You can try and pronounce this in your own time. It's Ninja News, roughly translated. It's news on Instagram, 15-second news bulletins on Instagram. They look like this.
Voor het eerst is een roekeloze bestuurder in ons land veroordeeld met behulp van dashcambeelden. De rechter aanvaarde die beelden uitzonderlijk als bewijs, omdat het om heel gevaarlijk en moeilijk te bewijzen rijgedrag ging. De man kreeg een celstraf van 18 maanden.
M&M.
The pictures speak for themselves. Someone was really ignorant on the road and someone filmed it with a dashcam and he went to jail. Hooray. What has this to do with radio? Well, with old school live FM radio, nothing. But it is targeted towards an age group that we try to target with radio as well. It's the YouTube generation, so to speak. M&M is our CHR station that caters that same audience. And with this content that is created in the editorial team of M&M, we reach these audiences on Instagram. And maybe they've never heard of M&M, the radio station, but they will learn the name when they're on Instagram. And more importantly, we wanted to bring them news, and that's something we achieved here as well. We don't only work with the YouTube generation, obviously. We also work with what we call the silver surfers. Older audiences, we find them mostly at Radio 2 in Belgium. as listeners, and we found that they wanted everyday tips and tricks in their lives, and we found this through this iterative process that I've just described with the slide there. So what we found was that we could give them a website with everyday tips and tricks. Now, this is nothing revolutionary, obviously. This website is just a bunch of articles around shining shoes with banana peels and whatever. Obviously, this does not only live on that website, but the articles are posted on Facebook and are reposted and shared massively. So we have great reach there with those silver surfers who are surfing on Facebook, and Radio 2, Facebook, the audience, have found each other there around these fancy tips and tricks for their everyday lives. It's only 2 examples of some stuff that we did. I mostly want to talk about Hack the Sound, which is something we're running this fall, at this very moment, actually. It's better online audio storytelling for 25 to 45-year-olds. Are there any of those in the room, by any chance? Okay. You have busy lives. I'm a 43-year-old, so I'm just within the group now. I have a busy life. I have kids. I have a busy job. I'm in traffic all the time. I try to jog now and then, which doesn't work, but anyway. A lot of these people love radio, as you all do, I know. And we're trying to get better online audio to them, not just radio, but audio as a storytelling medium. And we've called it Hack the Sound. That's something we're running this entire fall. And whenever we start a project, we define a charter. And this charter, I have a filled out one of these as well, but it would have been just too much text to read in 15 seconds. The most 2 important sections here are the vision and the why. And the why is something I want to elaborate on a little bit. It's an audience that is very internet savvy. They have ubiquitous internet access. They are very busy, and we want to deliver them content to improve our connection with them. I know that sounds a bit mushy, but it's true. We just want to connect to these people. And we really believe that audio really has a potential as a terrific storytelling medium. You can tell terrific stories with audio, as you've heard in the very first session of today, which was mesmerizing. And that's the kind of content that we want to deliver to these people, and we want to find a better way to do so. So this is all in the works. It's a process that's ongoing. But eventually, sometime the end of November, we will have some working prototypes around this trajectory. So this fall, we'll be doing desk research. We actually already did that, desk research. We've looked at research that was available at VRT itself, some scientific material from other sources. We've sent out a survey to actual users. The word Safari there is something that we use internally, so don't tweet this, but it's observation of audience members. Not in a creepy way, they know that we're observing them. It's, we send out, or we select people to fill out a diary for a week, and the most interesting diary responses are people that we follow for a couple of days, and we actually observe what they do with audio, while working, while jogging, while picking up and dropping off kids. And with that information, that's the empathize section that you saw in that slide back there. We really learn from these people what their needs are and what they want to have. So one important thing that's on here is the business model development. We're a public broadcaster, so we work with money from the people, from the government, but we still think that it's necessary to work with a business model as well. Nothing comes for free, and as we are a startup, we take the business model in there as a very important parameter. We will go into ideation somewhere in the middle of October and in prototyping, so we will probably have some stuff to actually work with our audiences by the end of October. We'll have a hackathon. If anyone's interested to come over for the hackathon, it will be in Ghent in Belgium. That will be mid-November. And then one last thing we will absolutely do is incubation, because that's really important whenever you're innovating. Don't forget the incubation step. Whenever you invent something that you want to get on the work floor, find a way to get it actually incorporated in a real-life environment, because inventing something that is never used, that is absolutely useless. So if you have any questions about this, come see me. That's my email over there. It's a really old-school medium, I know, but I'm open for questions. Thank you.
Next. This is Next Radio 2016 with Broadcast Bionics. Innovative solutions for creative people.